Thank you so much, TMND Nivedita, and a very good evening to the fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I'll be talking about something that we all are very scared of. I'm sure most of you recognize this situation. You put on a horror film, turn down the lights, turn up the volume, and sit back. You are watching as monsters come creeping out of the dark in search of the prey. Your heart goes out to the poor characters in the film, and you start squirming in your seat as the monsters come closer. Your pulse accelerates, your palms get sweaty, and your hair stands on the end. This is when you begin to throw nervous glances into the corners of the room. What was that sound? Was that a shadow? Was that a movement in the shadows? The horror on the screen bleeds into your system and into the surroundings. You cover your eyes, but it doesn't help. You'll probably have nightmares tonight, but still, you are continuously watching that horror movie. That's my Saturday night in a nutshell. There was a time when I used to jump just by hearing the name of a horror movie. But right now, I am a hardcore horror fan. You name a horror movie, and there is a very good chance that I've watched that movie too. You must be thinking, how did this transition happen? My friends, this transition happened when I got to know that the movie directors are playing with my fear and my brain. When we get scared, our body goes in high alert, a biological response to all the possible dangers. We snap into survival mode, fight or flight. But when we watch a scary movie, our brain actually knows that there's nothing to be threatened about. Instead, the dopamine that's released in our brain becomes euphoric, which means, hey, I'm terrified right now, but I like it. This reason was enough for me to overcome my fear. In a way, you can say that horror movies didn't create fear inside me, they helped me release it. And it's not only the horror movies that people are scared of. They have a fear of being judged. They have a fear of public speaking, and they also have a fear of missing out, which we casually call as FOMO. Let me tell you about one story of mine. In 11th standard, I developed a fear that I'm going to fail in physics. No matter how hard I try, I will not be able to pass this subject. In my school bus, in my school assembly, during the classrooms, this was all that I was thinking about, that God, how hard this physics subject is. I wish I could just cut off, I wish I could just clear the minimum cutoff criteria. I lost my appetite because of this. I even had many weird and bad thoughts at that time. This may sound silly right now, but I was going through a very difficult phase at that time. And the good thing was that my parents knew about my situation and they helped me in coping with it. Physics was like a monster I didn't know how to fight with at that time. But because of my uh, families and my relatives' help, I was able to cope with it. So, if you have a fear of something, try to know the reason why. In most of the cases, your heart or your brain knows. When you know the reason, try talking to your family, your friends, your seniors. Try seeking professional help if needed. And gradually, you'll be able to overcome that fear. But don't live with this fear for your entire life. One mantra for coping with all kinds of fear is know your fear, talk about it, don't run from it, fight with it. Don't lock the door for meeting new people. Lock the door for the fear of being judged. Don't lock the door for going on stage. Lock the door for the fear of taking new roles. To summarize, if you have locked the door, open it. Fight with that monster, fight with your fear, and win over it. Thank you, and over to the TMD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tushar.